Coming up on show 576, how cheap can VW buy batteries, Audi plug-in hybrids, and a Mustang electric? Well, those stories and many more coming up on today's podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening, wherever you're listening in the world. Welcome to EV News Daily, Tuesday, 10th of September edition today. My name is Martyn Lee, going through every EV story that I can possibly find on the internet and whittling it down to just the ones you need to know about. It's about saving you time, and yes, today I'm under the weather. I'm suffering with the lurgy today, so eyes streaming, nose running, and a very sore throat as well. The VW ID.3 has just been announced, and I'm not going to talk about it on today's show because I'd like to give it a little thought, and so it'll be on tomorrow's show, but also I'd like to give it enough time, and frankly, I feel terrible, and so I don't want to talk about the car too much today, but we'll do it on tomorrow's show, and hopefully I am sounding a little bit better. But the 68th IAA show in Frankfurt opens its doors on Tuesday, today, if you're listening on Tuesday, for the press day. Monday night was group night for Volkswagen Automotive Group, or VAG, if you like. According to Motor One, the big headline, of course, is the ID.3, but there's more cars as well coming from Volkswagen Automotive Group. But this is only really about one car, and it's the ID.3, the headline electric car that we'll talk about plenty on tomorrow's podcast. Having watched the live stream earlier today, great car. They're going to sell loads, good battery sizes, pricing not cheap. I thought it was going to be a little bit cheaper, but anyway, they're going to sell a ton of these. They are going to sell so many of them. Any hardcore Tesla fans having their heads turned? I'm not so sure, but we'll get into that tomorrow. But how cheap are the batteries inside the VW ID.3? Well, according to a New York Times article today, with the platform, the MEB platform, VW has achieved costs of less than $100 per kilowatt hour for the batteries in the ID.3 because of economies of scale. This would be years before expected. This would be before Tesla, if it's true. At the same time, VW negotiations with battery maker SK Innovation have been looking a little bit shaky, according to Electrive, although not expected for years to come. Electric cars could be made more cheaply than combustion cars, their counterparts much sooner than anyone really realised, if the story is true. The information came anonymously, so maybe treat this one with a pinch of salt. The ID.3, of course, will be making hundreds of thousands of cars, and so it's conceivable the battery price is low because of scale. It really does mark the price turning point at which analysts have said mass adoption of EVs is inevitable. Volkswagen has had to use a strategy of diversity in sourcing their battery cells, using the likes of Swedish company Northvolt in a recent joint venture announced. And the European companies are setting up a plant in Salzgitter, initially producing 16 gigawatt hours up to 24 gigawatt hours of cells every year. With planned capacity, however, Volkswagen will only be able to serve a small part of their own plans for EVs. One of those brands is Audi, of course, and Motor One says that although they've been enjoying the smooth styling of Audi's A7 Sportback for a couple of years, in keeping with the times, Audi are now adding a plug socket to the A7 Sportback, the A7 Sportback 55 TFSI E Quattro. It is not a catchy name. It has a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 248 horsepower, and a single electric motor at 105 kilowatts of power. How big's the battery? 14.1 kilowatt hours of battery power, operating at 381 volts. If you're interested, nestled neatly between the rear cargo area, so not encroaching on any space inside the car. 25 miles of pure electric range, up to 84 miles an hour. That's pretty quick. Staying with the group, and this time their Czech budget line, Skoda, maybe I should say, is entering the electro-mobility era with two new cars, a sub-brand, the Skoda IV sub-brand. The Czech manufacturer's first EV production models include a plug-in hybrid, the Superb IV, and the Citigo IV. Back in mid-May, the company showed us the new IV sub-brand in the Slovakian capital of Bratislava. Well, there, the manufacturer also showcased the first two electrified production models, the Citigo and the Superb. Now, the Superb is a plug-in hybrid, and they're driving forward another part of the VW group. Well, from early next year, the Superb is going to be available with a plug on the side of it, and the Citigo is going to be exclusively EV, 61 kilowatts electric motor, and a range of up to 260 kilometres. Moving on to another German manufacturer now, and Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes has pulled the wraps off a plug-in hybrid version of their SUVs. The rides are the GLE 350DE 4MATIC and the GLC 300e 4MATIC. Mercedes says that the GLE has an all-electric range of up to 100 kilometres thanks to a big battery pack in their plug-in hybrid. 31.2 kilowatt hours. The plug-in hybrid can also go up to 160 kilometres an hour on pure electric power, says Slash Gear. Well, the GLE's battery can be charged at a DC fast charging station in 20 minutes to go from 10 to 80%, and 30 minutes will get you to 100%. The plug-in hybrid can tow, yes it can, up to 3,500 kilograms, and it can go on electric power alone for 106 kilometres. The other plug-in hybrid that Mercedes revealed was the GLC 300e 4MATIC that has a gas inline 4 paired with an electric motor. The electric motor has a 90 kilowatt power capacity, total system output 320 horsepower, and that is going to do 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds when both engine and electric motor are working together. Much smaller battery pack though in the GLC 300, that's only 13.5 kilowatt hours. Well, moving on to Ford, and some people may get the creeps just thinking about the Mustang inspired SUV, or of an EV Mustang altogether. That would be heresy, but putting both ideas together would be terrifying for some Ford fans. That is what the Mach-E will do when it's out in 2020, says Inside EVs about a new video leaked online on YouTube. It shows the prototype of what seems to be a crossover. Very low, very wide, some sportiness there. The vehicle also does present a visible, doesn't show any exhaust outlets. So, is this the Mustang-inspired SUV that Ford have promised, called the Mach-E? Well, if you look at recent trademarks, the automotive press came along, another trademark, the Mach-1. Maybe either of those could be chosen. Autocar spoke to Darren Palmer. He is Ford's Global Product Development Director for battery electric vehicles, and he told the British Car Magazine they would have the Mach-E badge. Right, a couple more stories, and I will leave you because I'm sure you don't want to listen to anyone too croaky today who is feeling ill. Hyundai announced that their investment in IONITY has gone ahead. Of course, Hyundai and Kia, part of the same motor group. They are affiliated companies, and they are going to be playing a role in supporting the development of IONITY, the European charging network, because all future Kias and Hyundais will come with 800-volt batteries, and therefore they can charge at 350 kilowatts. Up to 350 kilowatts. Customers can use IONITY's HPCs, the high-powered chargers, with their digital payment options. You just turn up and plug your car in. The IONITY network is funded by BMW, Daimler, Ford, Volkswagen, Porsche, and now Hyundai and Kia. And finally, good news if you drive or own and want to own a Tesla in Iceland. Iceland have opened their first, and probably only because it's a small market, location opening in the country. Orders for the Model S, X and 3 can now be placed online. It says electric today. Iceland is the perfect place for EVs because a lot of their electricity is from renewable power. And if you are happy to go to Reykjavik, you can go to the Tesla store, the service centre, and go and check out the cars there. 15% of total car sales in the country, by the way, are plug-ins, and so Tesla will do well there. Question of the week this week. Please take part in this. If you want to answer this, I took it from Jill Noel on Twitter, wondering about your light bulb moment. Did you have a light bulb moment when you first found out about EVs? What was your light bulb moment when you first discovered an electric car? Let me know. Email me, hello@evnewsdaily.com. Leave a comment online, YouTube and Facebook. Well, thank you to 251 patrons of the podcast, and then some new patrons over the weekend as well. Thank you to you guys. There are 575 shows online. You can get them for free, and all the new ones come free if you hit subscribe on your podcast apps. If you want to leave a little review, that'd be amazing. And in the meantime, come and say hi on the socials by searching EV News Daily. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow, and remember, there is no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.